welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the Houston Texans. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Derrick Henry, you may remember last year against Houston in the season finale, 211 yards rushing, one of only 2 200-yard games in the NFL last year. And not only that, but that game won him the rushing title because Nick Chubb was the leader, but he struggled in the final week against the Bengals. And then up from behind came Henry. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the air now with Tannehill. Open man is Cameron Batson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught at the 20. 33 yards that time.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
From the 16, Tannehill. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. McCann's kick up and good. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They'll run here with Lindsay. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Gosh, when you've gotten Deshaun Watson, Charles, executing a run-pass option, that puts the defense in a tough spot, does it not?
It does, and what I liked is that you called me this week, watching your own video, your own tape, and you said, I think the runner's going to pop a few this week because of what we've seen from Deshaun Watson. His ability to get to the corner, that's where the focus will go.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now a carry for Lindsay. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off of play action, it's Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Gained 13 yards that time and another first down. Show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say, those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3.
A forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
And
a really good backhand.
Get some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Tannehill. He'll get this complete to Batson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screen.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the lot. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A shotgun hit off to Henry. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Just making these babies cry right now. 24 is the mark. Too blessed, too blessed. 24 is the mic. Let's go, heavy. Let's go, heavy. Let's go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill.
Oh, my God. Come on.
I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Last year's All-Pro punter, Brett Kern, comes on for Tennessee as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon.
Damn it, placed it.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a 1st down.
Nice carry there by Derrick Henry. Picks up a 1st down. And when you say workhorse, you're thinking about Derrick Henry. Won the rushing title in 2019 with 1,540 yards on the ground and 16 rushing touchdowns. Went to his first Pro Bowl and carried his team to the AFC Championship game.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Murray. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Watson. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Faking the give. Now Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Tannehill able to take off and pick up the first as well.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
He's going to let this one go deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pick. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And you're under a minute to go in the half. A first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense, right?
That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. T.J. Green with a pick. And he's going to have the first down as they move into field goal range here at the 25-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Lindsey. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Out of the gun, Watson. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks. As the first half is winding down, and the Texans push further out in front. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
That is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the...
He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Watson gets one into the hands of Cobb. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A shotgun snap for Watson. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Catch there by Brandon Cooks. And it's hard to believe that he's on his 4th team in 5 years because he's produced everywhere that he's been. Houston hoping to see the Brandon Cooks that they saw in New Orleans, in New England, and in Los Angeles. 2019, though, was his first year under 1,000 yards since 2014. He's looking for a bounce back.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and handle it a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Lindsey. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the gun, Watson eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Darius Slayton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans add on.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Tannehill down a throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Buying time to his left. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
56, check 56. You got nothing today. You got nothing. 56.
2nd and 10, Tannehill once more. Looking downfield for Jones. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Eric Murray. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. On the tackle, it was Dane Cruikshank.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. 20! And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. A big-time play there for the Texans. 59 yards.
I got it. Check. 24. Check. 55 to line. Too little. Check. Fresno.
To throw is Watson. Operating from the gun. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That catch good for only a couple. Watson going to try and run it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Throwing again on 2nd down. Tannehill flushed out right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Shaq Lawson drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
Get ready, set. 19, 59.
Watson off play action. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. On first down, it's Lindsey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Play fake, and it's Watson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards, a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. To throw is Watson. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Flush to his right. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. fielded at the 20. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Check another timeout.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Houston, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
What the? What niggas talking about?